Welcome to this little training on the usage of. Hello? Okay. Welcome to. Can you hear me? Yeah. Just type on the chat if you're listening to me. Welcome to this training. I will walk you through the a little understanding on what the system does, what it's the scope, and how to use it. Basically, the ONG is now providing an issue tracker to track the task force issues from the moment they are created until they are resolved and included in the task force report. Oh, but by the way, how many of you? None of you have chaired any other task force, right? This is my understanding. So I guess maybe you had your training in the Austin meeting, explaining you the scope of your job in terms of triaging the issues and assigning to people and putting them on ballots. So all those processes will be supported by this issue tracker. The URL to log in to the issue tracker is what's on screen now. It's solitaire.omg.org. And this is the screen that you should see when you log in there, okay? Your username and password should be the same ones, the same username and password you used to log into my.omg.org. So I would suggest just now, and since we have Jürgen so he can help us, if you can try to go to that URL and try to log in with your username and password so we can make sure you are okay to continue and enter the system, okay? Try to do it now, and if you have any trouble, just let me know on the chat and we'll see if we have any problem with that, okay? So once you enter to the system, you should see a screen like this, which is the main page, a dashboard for JIRA. This is my screen, as I am a user. I have a lot of things assigned to me, but basically this is the main screen that you see when you log in. I would suggest also that you use Remember My Login in this computer because it's easier, so you don't have to type your password every time and you have auto login. Okay. Now I'm going to go through a little bit of explanation of the basic concepts in JIRA. Anyone has previous experience with this product called JIRA from a company called Atlassian? Matt? Makoto, if you want, you can type. Sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say that we use JIRA as convention for issue track.
Okay, excellent. So, okay, so I don't have to. Don't worry, I don't have to explain projects and issues, so I go straight to the how we map that to how we use it at the OMG then. So basically a project in JIRA is a task force. So as you see in the tabs, there's I will show you the regular page. Every task force has a project, and so the membership of the JIRA projects is the membership of the task force, and the issues in the task force are your issues that you have to fix. So it's pretty, at that level, it's pretty straightforward. The only difference maybe is that at some point issues are carried over from one task force to the other when you go from finalization to revision, and sometimes the issues are copied and sometimes the issues are moved. But in essence, the issues that are reported in the public forum, or you may also report your own issues in your task force, are the issues that you have to fix and are the issues that you will have to include in your task force report. Okay. As for, I have done a number of customizations to some screens and to the workflows in JIRA, so that the system closely copies or supports the OMG procedures to vote on issues and the different type of proposals and how those proposals get included in ballots and how they're voted, etc., etc. So I'm going to show you the screens quickly, and then we can jump to what are your duties regarding JIRA for your task force. I'm sorry, am I going too quickly, or is it okay for you to, are you understanding me correctly? Makoto?
Good for me, keep going.
Okay, okay, excellent. So I'm going to use the Makoto's project, but they are basically the same. So, I'll show you in a second how you get to this page, but this is the main page for your projects. Not the main page, but it has the most the basic information for your task force. This page shows you let's say the context information, when it was chartered, what is the due date for the comments, the report, and the deadline for presenting the report, what is the list email, and also what is the target version, which is the version you are going to generate. In this case, it's FSM for RTC 1.0, and the source versions that are going to be where you come from. Basically, it's the beta 1, and sometimes it's the beta 2, and sometimes there may be two specifications that are merged into one, so that's why it's called sources. In time, when you are finishing your task force and you have to generate your task force report, which is going to come out of this system automatically, you will have to fill in some information about the report itself. It's mostly the document numbers that are going to be included in your inventory. So you will see a screen in a second where you can enter the document numbers for your report, for the new specification with change bars and other supporting documents that are needed, and once they are entered, they will show up here. You have a couple of links here that I will go through in a second, but hold on. I'm going to back to that in a second. The second screen I want to show you, and this one's important, is the OMG members page. This page should show the current state of the task force with all the members and the appropriate roles that each one have. Bear in mind that to be part of the task force, you have to be approved by the company main representative. So maybe for a task force, not everybody that is shown on the work in progress page appears here because they are awaiting approval. So one of your first responsibilities in terms of chairing the task force is making sure the whole team is listed here and with the right status and the right role, and making sure they are, and also you try to make sure that everybody is able to log into JIRA and their username and password are correct. So I remember there was somebody from your task force, Makoto, where he was awaiting for approval. You see here from JIRA, Jeffrey Biggs is still awaiting for approval. So he's not going to show up until his company approves him joining as a member in the task force. And this is automatic, so all you have to do is make sure that he gets approved, and once he gets approved, at most in 24 hours, he will appear in this page, meaning in this page, so we will get 4 here, meaning that everybody is already, it's correct, okay? Okay. Next would be, the next screen I want to show you is the screen with the issues. This page is a customized view of the JIRA issues that you have, and with more information about the steps in the process that they have. And since the steps have some more, they're a little bit different than the typical workflow because it includes up the proposals. Then that's why there's information here, and you will see different colors here. In this case, this issue was imported from, it was submitted by someone in the OMG form, and the issue was automatically imported here when the task force was created. And this happens also in an ongoing basis, meaning that if somebody goes to the public submission form and creates an issue, and if Jürgen assigns to your mailing list, let's say to the task force, that issue will show up immediately, or after 24 hours, it will show up here in this page as an in open state. This is the default view, the summary view, but you can see the details, which is basically the information that the system, the person has filled when they submitted the issue. In this screen, you will see that it has a legacy issue number with a link. This means that this issue was imported from the OMG submission. If you create an issue yourself in this task force, it will not have this because it's not a legacy issue. It's not from the OMG. The link that the number has goes to the archive of the submission. So you see here, this is the trace that has been in the OMG since when the system was when the issue was submitted. No, one couple. I don't know why it keeps popping. Okay. Okay, I'm going to jump into an issue to show you. Oh, by the way, one important thing is that the JIRA key, the JIRA project key, has no relationship with your specification acronym. So this is the JIRA project key is assigned by JIRA when the project is created. And since you're going to have 1.1, 1.2, and there may be conflicting names, we let JIRA decide which is the project key. So don't, this key is unrelated to your acronym in the spec. Okay, so this is the view that you have for an issue. Okay, this is the basic screen that you see, and important stuff that I need to explain is that I'm going to go by one. You see that the type is an issue, and this is one thing that you have to remember as the mapping between the OMG concepts and JIRA. Issues is a term that is used widely in JIRA, and it may refer to different things. And in our case, the issue type, which is in this case is issue, again, is the things that you have to fix. Okay, if you see a JIRA issue of issue type issue, I'm sorry, this is maybe confusing, but the term is it's repeatedly used over and over. So issue types issue are the things that has to be fixed, the things that are reported in the submission, or you can create them. Okay. There will be other issue types that are the proposals that you create. When you create a proposal, you will create a subtask, a sub-issue of this main issue with a different issue type. Sorry, and I'm going to go there. I'm going to show you an example in a second. So going back to these issues, the issue type is what the issues are, what you have to fix. Priority has is used internally by the task force. There is no there is no restrictions on usage of that field, and it's not going to be included in the task force report. So you as a chair and with your team, you can assign what the priority means. If blocker means something and critical or minor, you can use it as at your will. There's there's nothing imposed on that field. The effects version is basically the version of the spec where this issue was reported, and this comes from whenever the issue was submitted. This is the beta 1, and maybe you have an issue that was reported in the beta, and you decide to defer to the 1.1 version of the spec and to the revision. So you might have an issue in your future task force, which instead of the effects version would be still the beta 1. A clear example would be UML, which has a lot of issues and has a long number of versions. So they still have issues submitted in 2.1 or 2.2, and they're on 2.6. So the effects version means the version this issue was reported, and this is defined the moment the issue is created, and you cannot modify it later. Labels, it's is anybody typing? Because I get the chat, but I don't see anything here. Okay, I'm sorry, just checking. Labels are a free taxonomy that you can use, and you can use any label or anything you want. Chapter and section and page number comes from the original submission form. If it is filled, or if it's not, it will show up as not available. You can edit that because you may find it later and use it. and put the appropriate values if it applies. The legacy issue number, of course, it's what is tracking back to the OMG database. The status is open, meaning that there is the issue has no proposal and it's not under ballot. I will show you the workflow later. And the fixed version will be the version of the spec that is going to be produced by your task force. So when the task force is closed because your report was approved, and Jürgen triggers the closing of the task force, the FSM for RTC 1.0 will be the fixed version for this issue. Later, all this information can be, some of this information is visible to the public, so people will see that each issue was fixed at the version 1.0 and it was reported in the beta 1. So this fixed version will come later when the issue is fixed. Of course, you have the description, and here you have a couple of links that are automatically generated by the system when we incorporate this issue. One is going back to the archive of the issue to see the text that was filled, and also you have a link to the spec page. See, or maybe you don't have it yet, but you're supposedly to have the version there. And when the issue is fixed, you will have a link to the fixed version spec page. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead. Hello, Makoto, what are you going to say, or Matt? Oh, there. You're clear.
It's okay.
Okay, good. Let's continue. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing that it's important for you. From this view of the project, you will see that there are two tabs here. One is Overview, which is the normal view, and since you are administrators of this, you are chairs, you are administrators of the project, you will see an Administration tab. And in this page, you will see a couple of things that are important for you. One is the components view. Components is something that you can decide to use at your own will. Since you know JIRA, you know the JIRA components. The system doesn't impose any usage on the components. You can use it if you want, or if you don't need to use it. But maybe you can assign components to different people to be the default assignee for this. So you can create your own components and you can assign your issues to components. You have another view here. I'm going first to this screen, which is the configuration of the report. It has, you have these, there's some help here at the top, but you see the target version, and here you can fill the information about all the documents that you have to produce when you submit the final report. I'm going. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the process now. So this is the initial stage of an issue. Okay, so I'm going to go to another project. I'm going to create an issue. That's better. Since you are chairs, there is a project called Sandbox, which everybody who is a member of a task force has permissions to use, and it's basically a testing a testing sandbox for you to test the workflow and how to do things. So this screen is the screen to create an issue for you, for the members of the task force. Members of the task force can create issues directly in JIRA because since the OMG already knows that you are a member and you already have signed the proper disclosures, you don't need to go through the public submission form and confirm that all the copyright okay. So all the copyright information, etc., etc. So here you can type my summary, you can type here. I try to add some hints about each field. So if you see a yellow R, meaning that this field will be included in the report. So this field is important. So this is my description. Something important you have to know is that this field, as well as others, support wiki-style syntax. So I think this is, so you can generate bold and underline. It's more synthetically, but okay. And you can embed images. You can attach images to the issues, etc. So you can create a rather complex description of an issue as well as the resolution. So you can add tables and have links, etc., etc. in the description as well as any of the other fields. So here you see chapter and page number are all included in the report, and this is an important field to the issue, meaning that if you have to click on this checkbox if this issue is preventing you from continuing. Oh, who's making that noise? Can we mute him? Okay, that's better. So if an issue that you receive has this checkbox, or you submit an issue with this checkbox on, an email will be sent to Andrew. So maybe this will trigger an urgent handling of this issue, maybe not even via JIRA, by some other means. And but the important thing is that Andrew and the OMG staff will be notified about that there is an issue that's preventing people from implementing. So we have priority here, and you see the T. This is internal to the task force. You see the labels, the due dates if you need. You can attach anything you need. And we also added some additional information about how much time you want to spend, or which is the estimate that you want to have. Okay, so here you click create, and you create the issue. Okay, so now I'm going to the workflow. So this is a little small, but okay. So the workflow, as it would normally be, is that you have an issue and you decide you have to create a proposal for the issue, meaning a proposal to have a disposition of that issue in different of either you fix the information in the report, or you decide to defer it to the next task force, or you decide to close it with no changes or as a duplicate. So the workflow, the expected workflow, the next step in the workflow would be for you to create a proposal. The next step would be to create a proposal. Creating a proposal is in JIRA means to create a subtask of this issue of another issue type. And Here at the top, you see the different types of dispositions that the OMG allows you to use for resolving your issues. So close with no change, meaning that you're not doing anything with the issue. Resolve means that you want to fix the issue in the specification. Close without a scope, meaning that you're not interested in this. Duplicate, you have to link it to another issue. Defer means that you're not going to resolve this in this version. Your task force is going to delegate it to the next one. And transfer is no longer used. I don't know why I left it, but
transfer to another task force.
Yes, but since we know that we're directly moving the issues, we don't need that disposition anymore.
And close no change, it means the issue just gets closed and has no impact on the specification, so it needs to be voted on.
Mm-hmm. So if I select the issue, you have to, when you create a proposal, you know what type of proposal you're doing. So it's simple for you. So you use the summary, fix the typo. You have description change in page 12 A to B. No, it's a simple typo. No problem. The revised, this is a description, the explanation of what you're fixing. The revised text is the editing instructions for the OMG editor to change in the spec, okay? And then you have the extent of the change, which has to be, if it is support text in this case, maybe it's important or something else. And basically, you have other labels. You can use the same information that you see in the main task. So when you create an issue as this proposal, it will show up as a subtask here. Okay. So now we have the issue, the main issue that you have to fix, and another issue which is a subtask of your initial one, which is of type resolved. This is the disposition that you're proposing. Okay. You can change it here if you want to, but there's no need. So at this point, if you go back, let me show you the list of issues for that. So you see here, I see my test summary here that was created today. It has a proposal. The different issues might have different states. So for example, these issues has they don't have any proposal, but these ones have a proposal. Okay. So now you have created a proposal. That proposal might need some elaboration and trying to work on it. So at this point, you are working with the proposal. When you think the proposal is ready for being included in a ballot, we're going to talk about the ballots in a second. Anybody can edit the proposal. Anybody can work on it, and anybody can click ready, meaning that the proposal is ready to be scheduled and voted in a ballot. At this point, this is the last opportunity for you to edit the proposal, because once the proposal is included in a ballot, everybody has to vote on the same version of the proposal, and that proposal is the one that's going to be included in the report. The text that you are including here is going to be included in the ballot as it is. So this is the last moment you have to edit the proposal. Okay. So we click complete proposal, and now the proposal is resolved, it will change in the next version, it will say ready for voting. But if I refresh this page, it will show that proposal 42 is ready. In the day-to-day use, it's probably useful for you to have to view this so you can see which issues are on which stage, so you know which ones you can include in ballots or not. There is one important view here that helps you, is that you have issues that are reported before the comment deadline. Issues before the comment deadline must be addressed and included in the report. So the default view is to show you which issues that are required for you to include in the report are listed, are there. So the default page is basically telling you which ones are the most important ones. So if you click this toolbar on the right, you will see the different, you can filter by the different status of the issues. Let's say, for example, if I click the proposals that are ready, it will show me only one. If I want the ones that has a proposal, it will show me a different view. Okay. Any questions so far? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So now going to ballots. So when a proposal is ready, the chairs are the ones that has the responsibility of including issues in ballots. Okay, this is basically the most important. Let's say, in the workflow, this is the most important task that you have. You have to create ballots and include issues in ballots so that issues are voted. But your responsibility it's about creating a ballot, including that, and when an issue is included in a ballot, the system automatically opens the ballot and sends emails to people to vote and tracks who is voting and sends reminder if people doesn't vote. And when the ballot is closed and voting is no longer available, it will show you the result, and if the issue was approved, it will transition to a different stage in the workflow. And if you didn't get quorum, for example, the issue goes back to open state, so you need to reissue a proposal and vote it again. So in JIRA, in this, I'm sorry, I talk too much. From the OMG ballots page, you as a chair has an option to manage, to add or modify ballots. And here you see all the ballots, and you can send emails or you can view it. But here is a training. In the next version, you will have a default value here. It's going to be 1 week from now, and 2 weeks from now as the closing date. In general, we propose to schedule the ballots in the future, so the system automatically sends reminders to people to review the issues before it goes into voting. So when the voting period opens, people already have seen the issues and they know what to vote. And we also send reminders, etc. So in essence, whenever you as a chair decides what is your next ballot and what are the dates the ballot will open, meaning that the voting will start, and when it closes, you just fill these 3 fields and you click create, and it will have a new ballot here. It will show up as draft in yellow. If you go back to the other page, which is available for everybody, everybody will see that there is a ballot here that is in status draft. I'm going to show you the view for that. There are no issues in the ballot yet, but now if I go to the place to go back to my issue 42, since there is a proposal already available here, which is status resolved, we will say ready, next version, you can schedule the issue in a ballot. So clicking schedule, meaning you are going to include this issue in the next ballot. So you don't have to fill anything here. The screen is here just because if you click schedule in an issue that has no ballot, it will not. It will tell you that there is no ballot available for schedule. So now the issue is scheduled, and you see that the fixed version is ballot 7, meaning that it will be voted in ballot 7. If I refresh this page, it will show me my issue and my proposal. And if I go to see the issues, you will see that this issue 42 is already scheduled here. Okay, so in this view, you can see what are the issues and what status they have. Okay. I'm going to show you. This specific task force has a hack, because when you open a ballot, you have to reach quorum. Quorum means more than half of the members have to vote more than yes. So if I was going to do this for this task force, you would never get quorum. So this has a quick hack that if you get one vote, the issue is approved. So I'm going to show you. So you see this issue, this ballot opens in October 11, but you as a chair has the possibility to force it to open now, and that's a lot of noise. Please, Jürgen, is that you?
No.
Okay, it stopped. It seemed to stop. Okay, you as a chair, you can open the ballot at any moment. Okay, so if I click open now, you see that it's not quorate. The issue is it turned to green and it turned to bold because it's not quorate yet. If you go to this to the page, to the ballot, it will change, because it will say you haven't voted yet, and it will show you the different votes, and it will show up a new page so you can cast your vote. In this case, no email was sent, but in the case of the regular task forces, when you open a ballot, an email is sent to the mailing list so people can vote from the email. So you will receive an email with all the detail of the issues, and you can cast your votes from the email. Okay, so it's relatively easy for the chairs for the members to vote. So either from the email or from this screen, you see that you can vote yes, no, or abstain, and then you submit your vote.
So let me ask you a quick question.
Yep.
So task force members do not necessarily have to get on to the JIRA tool to review the issues and or to vote. Is that true?
They don't need to go to JIRA if let's say yes. So technically yes, but that requires that you send that you fill your ballots with issues with enough time for the system to send the emails with the description of the issues a couple days before the ballot opens. The system sends an email saying that this ballot is opening soon, these are the issues. It would be nice if you fill all the issues that you want, and then you send that, and you don't add new issues later, because if you add an issue after the email was sent, then people won't get that. When the issue opens, yes, the people will get the same email, but with the possibility to vote, but they have to be able to log into JIRA. So essentially, if you log in once and you click remember my login, and people receive that email, they would vote without even logging to JIRA anymore. No, they could go to JIRA, but just by following the link. So all the information they need to vote. Go ahead, sorry.
As the task force lead, if we receive an indication of a vote up or down or abstain from a task force member, but they don't necessarily go into JIRA itself and log that directly, do we have the capability as the task force chair to register their vote on their behalf?
No. People have to vote. They have to vote on with their own credentials. You cannot vote on behalf of another member.
That'll be fun.
Well, it has worked so far, but since people only have to, if they see the email and they say yes, no, abstain, and they have all the information, if they already have logged in once, they can just click submit their vote from the email. The email is, it's pretty similar to the view screen, so it's
So
actually,
the user doesn't necessarily have to go back to JIRA and log in. They can just reply to that email.
no, they have to click a button on the. They have to click a link on the email. It's not a reply.
All right, so it gives them an active URL that goes to the right place in JIRA.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yes.
they can find their credentials and then click the right button.
Yeah, so that's one of the main points that I mentioned before. Make sure that everybody can log into JIRA and maybe tell them, remember my credentials, and when they receive the email, they just submit their vote, and they don't need to enter JIRA anymore. Still, it would be important for them to create proposals. I don't know if who is going to create proposals in the case of your task force, but generally members of the task force sometimes work along with the chairs to submit proposals. Okay. Just to continue, because we don't have a lot of time. As you have the same capability of opening at any moment, you can close it at any moment. The proposal. Oh, let me show you something. As I mentioned, all this is tracked in JIRA. So once voting has started, you will see a tab in the issue that you can see the outcome of the vote. So you have a detail of who is voting what when they voted. So all the information is traced and kept by JIRA. So now if I close the ballot, the system automatically, so here you see that is resolved as a schedule. Now if I refresh this page, since the issue was approved because it was forwarded, the system has changed the status of the issue from schedule to resolve, and the resolution was, so this is yet another reuse of the term, but it's resolved because the disposition in the ONG is resolved, and we copy the information from the proposal into here, so you see the extent of change, the resolution summary. This goes to the report, and you see that in the detail of the vote, everybody didn't show up, and in the task force, in the issue, in the view of the issue, this issue 42 is now pending, meaning that this is all, you don't have to worry about this issue until the report. You don't need to worry about this issue anymore, because this issue was approved, so you don't need to do anything else with this one. Okay? So just to wrap up, in terms of what are your tasks as a chair, first of all, make sure that your members are in the task force in JIRA and they can log in. Then, as you receive issues or you decide to create your issues, you have to decide which proposal you want to apply to it and create the proposals. Maybe anybody in your team can do it, but your task exclusively as a chair would be to create the ballots with appropriate dates, possibly as much in advance as possible so people have time to review the issues, and include the issues in the ballots. After that, the system takes care of sending the notifications, making sure that people vote, and resolving things automatically. Your job as a chair ends up with scheduling an issue in a ballot. After that, we will take care of that. So we only have 5 minutes, so I'd rather have you ask me questions. I try to make it as clear as possible. I think I went through in more detail than I thought, but I thought it would be less time. But, is there any question that you want to ask me, or any topic you want to discuss?
I have a question about the relationship deadline and voting over issues.
Mm-hmm.
All issues have to be voted before the deadline? Or,
Yes.
Yeah.
All issues has to be voted, and you have to get an approval on issues, not only a vote, but you have to get everybody the majority to vote yes, so the issue is solved and included in the report. Yes. Essentially, all issues that are reported are created before the comments due date has to be addressed and included in the report. You can decide at the last minute to defer most of them, but still you have to have a vote on those issues to defer them. But yes, essentially you have to vote on all issues.
Okay.
Anything else? Was it clear? I mean, did you grab the idea of what you need to do? This doesn't cover, obviously, editing the specification, right? You need to do that on a separate tool. So I would suggest that, are you expecting to start your work in the short term, or you're going to just spend some time later? I am generally available if you have any questions over email, and helping you if you need to set up something or you need assistance with.
We have the list JIRA-users at omg.org that you can subscribe to.
Oh yes.
And and if there are any questions, you can ask Mariano through that mailing list.
Okay.
So, was it clear? I'd like your feedback if it was clear or was. I know it's maybe a lot of information for 1 hour, and you will get when you get your hands on it, you get the proper understanding, I guess. Well, okay. So please let me know if you are going to request your members to check if they can log into JIRA if needed. Oh, hold on. So let me know if that I am available, and as you can say, there's a mailing list for that. So just let me know. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So if you don't say that again.
Good overview.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'm available. I'm available for anything you need in the future.
Yeah. Thank you, Mariano.
Bye. Have a good evening and morning.
Okay, thank you guys.
Right.
Bye bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Good morning. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, morning.
Good morning, good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.